Okay, in another video we have shown how to create job list with the job list editor, and now we will show you how to import the created job list into the ADU.
Yeah, for this purpose you need to copy the job list to a certain folder on the ADU and import it to the ADU database via the web interface. So first step is that we go into the job list import directory on the ADU. It's this one, /usb/joblist import. And now we select the job list that we created with the job list editor in the last video. Select all the files. Paste it on the ADU. And now we go again to the web interface. We go here and we go to import export job list. And now we need to give the job list some name that we want to use to identify the job list. And we say save and we say import job list.
Save, genau. Okay. So it imports all what is inside this directory. So once again,
you see all the jobs of the job list.
Yeah. No? So once again, so make sure that on your ADU this was empty and all what is here will be immediately importing. So you do not select anything, you just press import and everything what is inside this directory is immediately imported.
Yes.
No? So you cannot have several job lists.
No.
So if you want to have a next job list, you delete this, yeah?
Yeah.
And then you go maybe to another station or another job list, and then you can import it again and again and again. And as you have seen, during the import, we have first given a name. And we see now, when we go and edit the job list, we can see also our default default spacing, etc., etc. I will show you that in a minute, but here we have some options. So this is normally, the job list is now writing to disk, no?
Yep. And it's also in the so-called grid mode. This will mean that it will start at the next full 1 minute.
So that means if we submit the job list and say load, we will demonstrate that, it will use the programmed mode from our job list editor, and we have shown in the job list editor it shall start to the next minute. So then we have other options here.
With this, using these options, you can simply just start a job list on the ADU and write to default directory. So if you want to write to any other path than the default SD card, you can choose it here. For example, if we have some external USB data media mounted to this directory, you can select this directory, and then it will write directly on the USB device.
But only if this USB device is mounted.
Yes, if there's no USB device mounted here and you will choose this directory, this will cause big problems.
So then the data is lost.
Yeah.
So in general, we do not recommend to use any external USB sticks, because most USB sticks are not very good, and if it's hot and humid, these USB sticks do not last very long. So the ADU 8 has the possibility to eject the SD card, which is not shown here, and if you want to have fast data transfer, we eject the SD card and you can put it to your laptop. So we keep it at read the job list and eject. So eject means nothing.
Nothing here.
Nothing here. And USB to default is always the right one. We have selected the E-series, that is what we have programmed, and it will adopt the channel configuration, which
this means use the automatically determined best gains fitting to your site.
Exactly. So if you have programmed the job list and the gain was not set, so after making a successful self-test, all values are green, and for example the electric field has a gain of 4, it will use the gain of 4 automatically.
Yes.
Okay, then let's load the list. and see whether the ADU is started. So exactly. So job list started correctly. We can view the job table. And as you remember, I programmed clear table. So that means all old jobs or other future jobs are removed, and this ensures that the ADU will use all the jobs from the stick and will be not interrupted and disturbed by any other thing. So here we can select the job list when we want to start it. No? So that would be here, job list was selected, and we should see now
if you go to
edit. No? So
see
in
the contents of the
edit
job
you
list.
see the contents. Now we go to the start page and see that time to next job is 37 seconds. So it should then start at 11:14 UTC time, and this page is updated every 5 seconds roughly.
Yep.
So there may be a small delay between the values here from BIOS and BIOS time, etc., because the web is queried all 5 seconds. So now it has started to record, and now we see it should be 14, but the web page wasn't updated at this moment. So this is not the time which you see at your wristwatch, but it doesn't matter. And if you now go back to the recording, to empty data, and we see then here a refresh, and we see it has exactly started at 14, and it starts to execute the first job for 2 minutes. Additionally, we can see that small GPS information in Google is then applied, but also on some other software like Marvel it will work. And if we can see here now the site name, then you see good old Germany for sure, and we see then the site name here, and that is the location of our factory. Anything else?
Yeah, what I want to mention is if you go to select create here and click here, you see a list of all the job lists that are already stored on the ADU. And with the new software, all the job lists that are installed in the ADU can even be started from the Android app.
Yes. No? So we will provide some more job lists for self-test and extended tests, for laboratory tests, for example, for more convenience.